You're listening to Don't Miss This on Paris Underground Radio. For more great content, including bonus videos of events in and around Paris, please join us on Patreon. As longtime listeners know, we usually focus on beginnings on this podcast. And while there are many events and festivals and exhibits that extend throughout this month, there aren't that many events and festivals and exhibits that begin in August. So, to get a full view of everything happening this month, I do encourage you to go back and listen to some of the previous episodes of this podcast. But please don't get me wrong, I don't mean to say that there aren't any beginnings this week, because there are. There are storytelling jaunts and movie premieres under the stars. There are concerts and more. But I am going to change up the format a little bit this week and also include some exhibits that are closing soon, so this may be your last chance to see them before they disappear. This week's edition of Don't Miss This covers the week of Sunday, August 7th through Saturday, August 13th, 2022. When you were little, did your parents read you fairy tales? They were transportative, weren't they? You could be whisked off to a mermaid island, a multi-turreted castle, or a magical forest. Well, now you can experience new tales in an entirely original way. On Sunday, August 7th, and again on Saturday, September 10th, you can take a balade contée, or a storytelling walk in the Bois de Vincennes. Led by storyteller and dancer Célia Chambou, you'll be guided through the Bois de Vincennes to stories of men transformed into trees, talking birds, prankster elves, and more. Nature is full of wonderful stories. This storytelling walk is an unexpected way to rediscover the Bois de Vincennes and lasts about 2 hours. La Balade Contée au Bois de Vincennes will take place on Sunday, August 7th and Saturday, September 10th from 2:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. Reservations are required. For more information, including ticketing and reservations, please visit celiachambou.com. That's CELIACHAMBAUD.com. Do you remember last week's episode when I mentioned the Perseids phenomenon? Those shooting stars that appear to come from the constellation Perseus, but really come from Comet 109P Swift-Tuttle passing near the Sun, which causes a cloud of debris over several tens of millions of kilometers? Well, in light of this passing, Hotel Paradiso is joining forces with France Culture to invite you to 3 exceptional evenings. The idea is this. Lounge on the rooftop of the Hotel Paradiso while hundreds of shooting stars are expected to pass overhead every hour, and watch a free advanced screening of the new animated film De l'autre partie du ciel, or On the Other Side of the Sky. The preview screenings of De l'autre partie du ciel, which is an hour and 40 minutes long, will take place on Wednesday, August 10th, Thursday the 11th, and Friday the 12th at 8 p.m. at the Hotel Paradiso, and are free to attend. No reservations are required. The film's theatrical release will be on August 17th. Oh, and on Thursday the 11th, you'll also be treated to this year's last supermoon. For more information, please visit mk2hotelparadiso.com. That's MK, the number 2, HOTELPARADISO.com. I've always been a big believer that one of the best ways to understand a culture is to understand the art that's helped form it, whether that art be visual or literary or cinematic. For example, you can drop the phrase, "Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings," or "You'll shoot your eye out," into conversation with nearly any American, and they'll know what you mean. The films of François Truffaut certainly have the same cultural relevance to the French, and right now there's a retrospective in his honor at the Reflet Medici. François Truffaut Les Années d'Or, or François Truffaut The Golden Years, is showing, for the first time, restored versions of the 7 Truffaut feature films distributed by Associated Artists. And even better for you Anglophones, 3 of these films will have subtitles in English. They are La mariée était en noir, or The Bride Was in Black, on Sunday, August 7th at 8:50 p.m., L'Histoire d'Adèle H., or The Story of Adele H., on Monday, August 8th at 9:10 p.m., and La Sirène du Mississippi, or The Mermaid of Mississippi, on Tuesday, August 9th at 9:10 p.m. For more information and to book your tickets, please visit dulaccinema.com. That's DULACCINEMAS.com. Life can be hard, but you know what makes it better? Dancing the day away with an open-air electro marathon. On Saturday, August 13th, the collective Graffiti is organizing 8 hours of pure electro madness in a giant open-air festival in the middle of nature at the Prairie du Canal. La Prairie, once a wasteland of broken mopeds, is now an urban agriculture farm / dance floor created by the Serge Association. And on Saturday, August 13th, its 2,000 square meters of open space will be transformed into France's favorite dance party, with DJ sets by Bernadetta and Hors Sol, and music ranging from house to ateliers to acid. As ever, there will be a food truck, this time specializing in Christie crepe with veggie options. Graffiti will take place at La Prairie du Canal on Saturday, August 13th from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Ticket prices are reduced with a membership to La Serge Association, which is only €5 and lasts an entire year. For more information, please visit Facebook. Does French culture sometimes leave you scratching your head? Well, you might enjoy listening to our sister podcast, Navigating the French, hosted by journalist Emily Monaco. Each episode focuses on a different word in the French language, and Emily is joined by an expert who will help explore what that word says about French culture. Listen now to Navigating the French on ParisUndergroundRadio.com or wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't miss this. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors. And now, back to Don't Miss This. So that's what's coming in this week. Let's talk about what's going out. I'm going to share with you 3 events that will be leaving Paris shortly and you won't want to miss before they go. First, the photography exhibit Love Songs at the Maison Européenne de la Photographie. Love Songs is a look into the history of photography through the prism of romantic relationships. Inspired by Nan Goldin's photograph, The Ballad of Sexual Dependency, present in the show, Love Songs is conceived as a visual representation of the kind of mixtape you would make your lover. The first part of the exhibit, Side A, is made up of collections from the 1950s to the 1990s, and the second part, Side B, showcases images from the 1980s to today. By highlighting 14 collections by the greatest photographers of the 20th and 21st centuries, the exhibit brings together masterpieces from the MEP's collection, as well as loans from major contemporary artists, some of whom were showing for the very first time in Europe. You'll get an intimate look into the first days of a relationship, through to the marriage and honeymoon, to small domestic pleasures, all the way through to the pain of separation or a couple's last days together. While you're at the MEP, also check out the exhibit Another Love Story by French-Dominican photographer Carla Geraldo Vallot, which was created in response to the aforementioned Love Songs exhibit. Another Love Story is based on a personal story and is comprised of a series of photographs and texts that reconstruct and replicate the last months of her relationship with a man before she found out he was leading a double life. She decided to reappropriate this story by replaying different moments of their relationship and identically reproducing personal photographs they'd taken in the past, but with the help of a doppelganger. Both Love Songs and Another Love Story will be at the Maison Européenne de la Photographie until Sunday, August 21st, and more information can be found at mep-fr.org. We've had a look at love through the history of photography, but now we can have a look at the full spectrum of feelings with the Théâtre des Émotions, or Theatre of Emotions exhibit at the Musée Monet, which focuses on the history of emotions in painting. The museum has brought together 70 pieces from the 15th to the 20th century from various European and American museums, made by the greatest artists of their times, including work by Charles Lebrun, Courbet, Dali, and Picasso. From laughter to tears, from fear to boredom, from madness to reverie, painters and sculptors of all eras have sought to understand and represent human emotions. This exhibit moves in stages. At first, beginning in the 15th century, artists wished to represent the subtle nuances of emotions as faithfully as possible. Then, with the arrival of photography and psychiatry and the birth of new artistic movements, the objective became to reveal inner torments and deep inner transformations. By the 20th century, modern painters strove to provoke emotion, transmitting the feelings from the painting to the viewer. Through this exhibit, you will discover how the Western psyche has been slowly formed and transformed since the 15th century. Théâtre des Émotions will be at the Musée Monet until Sunday, August 21st, and more information can be found at marmottan.fr. That's marmottan.fr. Last up, une expérience gonflable, or an inflatable experience. Pop Air at La Villette showcases inflatable work by more than 15 international artists in over 5,000 square meters. From their website, Pop Air is an innovative and tailor-made format in which art, artist, and public coexist, a journey into the world of inflatable art capable of freeing the imagination regardless of age. The experience opens with Cupid's Koi Garden, a giant 6-meter fountain in bright and vibrant colors, before taking us into a psychedelic space filled with mirrors and colored spheres. There is also a pool with balls that you can jump into, soap bubbles, wacky creatures, and many other surprises. If you'd like an insider's look into Pop Air, check out the video I made of my visit, available on Patreon. And in any case, I can personally recommend a visit. Pop Air will be at the Grande Halle de la Villette until Sunday, August 21st. Tickets are €18, and more information can be found at lavillette.com. That's LAVILLETTE.com. Well, that's it for this week's roundup of Don't Miss This. For more great content, including a look behind the scenes, videos from Paris, a book club, and exclusive events, please join me on Patreon at patreon.com/Paris Underground Radio. If you enjoyed this roundup, please tell If you venture out to any of the events mentioned in this podcast, please let me know and tag Paris Underground Radio on Facebook. And if you think you have an event we should know about, please feel free to email me at hello@parisundergroundradio.com with the subject line, Don't Miss This. I'm your host, Jennifer Garrity. You can find me on all socials at Jennyphoria. That's JENNYPHOR. Don't Miss This is produced by me for Paris Underground Radio. For more on Don't Miss This and shows like it, please go to parisundergroundradio.com. Thank you so much for listening, and happy exploring! Don't Miss This is produced by Jennifer Garrity for Paris Underground Radio. For more on this show and shows like it, please go to parisundergroundradio.com.